Good evening, it's Kinninigan. I believe I figured out the mystery of Atlantis. Specifically, what the Atlanteans actually looked like. This isn't something I just threw together overnight. This is something that years of research and everything just came together. It's pretty much been in front of everyone's face the whole time. If you know how to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I, without a doubt, have a this isn't just a theory. I'm going to show you proof why I believe this to be the case. Also, Alpha Draconians, what I mainly focus on, it's a very negative subject. And I want to talk about something positive for once. And there's a lot of negativity around this time of year, especially with Halloween. I don't want to hear about the elections anymore. If anyone that needs to lie, cheat, and steal to get into political office, that's your soul on the line. Go ahead. Burn in hell for it. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it anymore. You want to sit there and call 20,000 people in Madison Square Garden Nazis? Because that's, see, the thing I get frustrated with is I'm not allowed to tell you the truth about these subjects, or they'll kick me off Google. Like if I told you who Adolf Hitler actually worked for. Because, yeah, that documentary might be on my Patreon or my locals. I don't know. It's called The Greatest Story Never Told. The truth about Hitler, who he worked for. Yeah, the whole point of World War II was to set up the state of Israel, as per Albert Pike, 33-degree Freemason. That's all I'm saying. All the Nazi SS symbols are skull and bone symbols. No one likes to talk about secret societies, though. Secret societies come into this theory I have about the Atlanteans. It's only why I'm mentioning them. See, specifically as a race, Alpha Draconians are not a threat. I'm not worried about reptilians kicking down my front door for talking about them or the Illuminati. I don't worry about that. They're actually parasites. They're cowards, but they're very vindictive. And the amount of hate, it's had me like thinking recently with all the amount of hate going towards Trump. I'm like, this is how these entities have operated for thousands of years. They're very vindictive, specifically towards women. And I even have a working theory on that one. My plan is to eventually write a story about Maldek and Atlantis. To kind of take what I theorized it was, turn it into a science fiction fantasy story, and just write it about the Alpha Draconian invasion. My characters in that book are going to be native Terrans, Atlanteans, and a few other theorized races that were on the planet at that time, and how Alpha Draconians infiltrated them, and they didn't do it alone. They had help. One clue I'll give you there is there might have been an entity called Cthulhu, because you would need to rule the oceans also. Um, so that story, but obviously, if I'm going to write a story about that, what did the Atlanteans look like? So I kind of thought it out in my head the other day. The first problem I had was what titles would the Atlanteans have? They're not going to have any reptilian royal titles, anything to do with royalty or bloodlines. There is not going to be any princesses, no kings, no queens, no presidents, no emperors. Why? Because these are all constructs for human enslavement, more or less. Our whole political systems and subversion into politics and religion, obviously. Their favorite way to rule over humans has actually been monarchies, but they don't work out too well. You want to know why? Watch Game of Thrones. Look what happens to evil kings. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. So they had to come up with a new system. And when they founded the United States, I was taught this by a Freemason, so I know it's the truth. There were four leaders before Washington. John Hancock was one of them. That's why his signature was so big on the Declaration of Independence. They were going to make the United States a constitutional monarchy. Then they decided against it. Decided it wouldn't be a good idea because monarchies, they've been failing. So they thought up a new title. President. Yeah, and the story ends there. But, so what would the Atlanteans actually call themselves? Well, I had to think of some titles for them, and I did. Um, Secondly, what would they look like? Well, one of the biggest clues as to what they would actually look like, I could tell you without they were hominoid. I'll tell you that much. But what did they actually look like? Skin color. Then I thought about a few things, and then something really clicked on me. Then this article comes out by like, I don't know, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. A recent article comes out about the Maya, which is going to be included in my presentation about this, proving another thing that I've been saying for years, that yes, the Maya were ruled by serpents, and now they're admitting that in the mainstream. Oh yeah, we found serpent symbolism at the Maya temples. And remember, the Maya temples are replications of Sumerian ziggurats. Well, what kind of human sacrifice was going on at these temples? Well, they were specifically beheading people. What did the Atlanteans do when they figured out that the word Kinninigan could make a reptilian not hold its human form anymore? They beheaded them. If you already seen the movie Apocalypto by Mel Gibson, you know where I'm going at with this. There is a specific ritual that goes with this beheading. And I think it's one of the smoking guns as to what they look like. The Atlanteans. Yeah, the vindictive serpents like Quetzalcoatl. I know he's an Aztec. Same thing. The Mayan temples and the Aztec temples. They're it was heavily involved in serpent worship. They were Alpha Draconian. This is when they had their worship in plain sight, which is what they want to do when they get back to their quote unquote New World Order. We'll talk about that in the video. But there's a few other clues, and all this ties in, and there's no such thing as coincidences when it comes to this stuff. This and what I'm going to show you in this video ties in with. There's a few other prophecies, but mainly the Hopi prophecy of. I'm not going to say too much; it'll kind of spoil it. What did the Mayas and the Aztecs do to these human sacrifices that they beheaded to appease the gods? Now, the only thing that might be true in that is, yes, they did it to appease the gods, because the Alpha Draconians, that's what they see themselves as, living gods. They think they're better than God. Remember, pride is what made Lucifer fall from heaven. It's one of the seven deadly sins. And they're very vindictive. Now, I don't know why they really hate women. I have an idea, because they can birth new humans, and they despise the idea of love between humans, but who knows? Maybe it was a woman in Atlantis that did. Maybe it was a woman who figured out the word Kinninigan, and that's why they really hate women. Who knows? They're very vindictive, I'll tell you that. But there is something that was going on in ancient times with a lot of human sacrifices, specifically to the ones that were being beheaded. And, well, if you know what it is, well, I'm not going to say what it is. You watch the movie Apocalypto. There'll be a clue. Here's the other clue. What did the Atlanteans look like? Well, if you really know me, it might be my favorite color. That's all I'm going to say for now. So, look, I do my best lectures with herbal supplement. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not doing too good. I mean, I got cat food. I couldn't even afford to buy Halloween candy this year. I usually hand out candy. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to. I still got 3 days left. But this lecture, I don't know. I might do it tomorrow morning. We'll see how things go. I could definitely do it on the 1st of November. And I want to, because I want to do some positive things before the election, because I just got a feeling I'm going to get a big fucking headache. I don't even want to hear about the election anymore. The idea of having political elections in our fucking country was not supposed to come down to this. It's absolutely childish and fucking pathetic. And I'm saying that from both sides. To the far right and to the far left. You've both lost your goddamn minds. This was for checks and balances within our own government. And yeah, what it's coming to now, it's just, and I'm telling you right now, Democrats, no one's going to make me fucking lie. You're not corrupting my soul. It's the only thing I have of value right now. Yeah, is my soul. So I don't give a shit. You want to throw me in fucking Camp FEMA because I won't go along with your big lie? I don't give a shit anymore. I'm on my 10th YouTube channel for telling people the truth about things you don't like. And this is why I get sick and I get very aggravated having to hear propaganda all day and not being able to defend myself. Like, I really feel like giving a lecture on who Adolf Hitler actually worked for. The Rothschilds. Yeah, so, whatever. You wouldn't even know what a fucking Aryan is. I am 100% Aryan, and I despise the Aryan Brotherhood and racist organizations. And the Nazis. Yeah, I have blonde hair and blue eyes. My father was German. I'm more fucking Aryan than Trump is, I'll tell you that. Just saying. Um, yeah, so anyway, that's why I want to do a positive video. And what better positive video than to speak about the what Atlantis was? Why did Alpha Draconians despise them so much? What were they were obviously very spiritual beings, but there are some clues as to actually what they might have looked like. And I think one of the smoking guns with this is what people like the Maya and the Aztecs did with their human sacrifices. If you know where I'm going at with this one. So probably, I don't know. I might wake up, have some luck overnight, and do this in the morning. So I would love to. Maybe I could see if I could scrape some resin out of my bowl. I don't know. I do better. I might be able to. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully we get the orange man back in office soon because we're all hurting financially. We can't take fucking 4 more years of this. By the way, they just put cigarettes up in my city. The cigarettes I smoke, which were generic Newport Maverick menthol, if you know what they are. Well, they just went up another $2, thanks to our Democrats in our fucking city, who don't fix anything in the city. We don't know what they do with all this money. I think they're trying to launder all they can before the fucking orange man comes back. Obviously. Half of them are freaking out because of the P. Diddy tapes, the Epstein, whatever. I'm sick of hearing it. I was already threatened by Google not to tell people on what the real agenda DEI is about. That's all falling apart for them. And by the way, this is another thing. I did a search on Atlantis using Google, DuckDuckGo. It's DuckDuckGo is owned by Google now, and all the even the representations of Atlantis are not correct. It is not Greco-Roman architecture. First of all, it predates Rome and Greece by a pretty damn long time. Secondly, the Atlanteans were not pagan. Pagan, by the definition I use, is the Roman definition. Those who engage in human and animal sacrifices to the gods and goddesses. This is part of the smoking gun on what I believe the Atlantean, specifically the part with human sacrifices. And what they did with these human sacrifices. And I try to look for an answer in the mainstream. I get no fucking answer for this. It's one of the smoking guns. Oh, we don't know why they did that. Yeah, you probably don't. Um, so I found this map. That was like the only thing I could find on here. We're gonna have to draw up new. Yeah, New Atlantis. Oh, is that? Oh, I know what the hell that's from. Starfield, a video game I saved money on because I didn't buy that woke piece of shit. I've been saving a lot of money not playing video games that are woke, and I have saved a lot of money, but It's like my only thing I get to do. So yeah, here it is, Atlantis. Yeah, closest thing we got here. So please share, like, subscribe if you could support the channel. I would appreciate it. Let's see if I can get some smoke. The only thing I can guarantee, if I don't do it for the next 3 days, I'm offline trying to save money. I'll do it on the first. I have a little bit of money coming from Patreon. That's all, I have to look forward to right now. Otherwise, I didn't really do anything today. I ate a fucking turkey sandwich and drank a pot of coffee. That was about it. I don't even want to be on YouTube or the news sites, right? I'm not joking. I don't want to hear about fucking DEI or the elections or Nazis anymore. I'm just fucking sick of it. I can only take so much propaganda. It ain't that I can't take listen. I don't like being able to not defend myself. And I'm not going to fucking sit here having people slinging names like that. Um, and then threatening to ban you off social media when you speak up or say something about it. And you don't think that's going to get worse if Democrats hold power. Yeah. And I'll be like one of the first people they come for. People like me. So yeah, whatever. The only thing I'm guaranteed, if I get murdered by a pagan, if Hillary Clinton chops my fucking head off at Camp FEMA, because I won't suck Baphomet's. Alright, let's not go there. I get to go to heaven. I know that. They're all going to burn in hell. They already know that, but you're not taking me down with you. You ain't going to get my soul. And I ain't fucking lying, cheater, stealing for any Democrat. So, I take my research very serious. The stuff I do with reptilians, and this is kind of all I have. And they've been doing everything in their power to make sure it's not viable for me to do this. Everything from kicking me off YouTube 10 times to casting black magic curses on me. And I know that for a fact. Don't ask me how. I have a spiritual advisor. He's a good supporter of the channel, actually. Yeah, there. I'm glad to see him back. He sent me an email. He wasn't doing too good, but I'm glad to hear from him. He's the one who donated all the occult books to me, and he's an ex-member of a secret society that no longer practices black magic. That's all I'm gonna say. And he basically confirmed, Ken, everything you thought about these people is true because I've done shit like that. And I've already been involved in a Masonic family, and I was told certain things, and apparently it fucking worked because they weren't joking. Something along the lines of, "You'll never have." Can we just say mirth? That's a good word. Joy, huh? Yeah. They were very spiteful that I wouldn't. I don't care anymore. So, yeah. But I do have a pretty good working theory on what the Atlanteans might have actually looked like. And when I put all this together and show it to you, who knows? I think I've been right about Alpha Draconians. I think I'm right about the demons in the Lesser Key of Solomon being Zeta Gray Verticulans, and the Archons being alien Greys. I think I've been right about Sasquatch. I've been right about the native Terrans. So, who knows? Maybe I'll be right about the Atlanteans. I kind of have this picture in my head of. We'll talk about her when I do the video. This kind of vision I have for this. Like I said, I'm not going to say princess or king. None of those titles would be around in the times of Atlantis. Nor would there be any Roman Greco architecture. Okay, there isn't going to be fucking dolphins around Atlantis or statues of Poseidon with a trident. No, Plato plagiarized Atlantis on purpose. And they've been doing it for a long time. And one of the things that I think they've been plagiarizing Atlanteans with is the way in which human sacrifices were conducted, specifically with people like the Maya and the Aztec. And I'm going to leave it there. And then there's even another smoking gun with a prophecy gun, and that is actually a video I made before. I couldn't find it. I made a video before about the Hopi prophecy and the different races of people that are supposed to come back in the end times. And guess what? One of those races is the exact same thing I think the Atlanteans are, and that would make a hell of a lot of sense. Paul says in the Emerald Tablets he will return one day. Not like a second coming of Jesus. I honestly believe with the evil that's on this planet, they can't work as they do as a species. That's look. Some people like me, I can't be in hospitals for too long. I get very nauseous in hospitals. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm anything. I get fucking nauseous in hospitals. I don't like being in them. Someone told me that might be because you're the. I'm not gonna say I'm fucking anything. All I'm saying is I do not like being in cemeteries, hospitals, anything with like massive amounts of negative energy in it. I've never been inside a prison, but I'm sure I'd feel the same way inside it there. Heard there's a lot of negative energy in those places, and I just pick up on it. And there's a reason they fled, and I think they will come back one day. So anyway, that's my rant for this evening. If you could support the channel, all the links are in the description. This should be a fun bit. I'm actually really excited to make this video, but I don't know. My brain's kind of all around the fucking place right now. It wouldn't be a good time to do a lecture. I need to calm down. Marijuana makes me calm down, believe it or not. That's the way my brain works. So we'll see. Maybe where's that map again? Yeah, it's like yeah. I mean, there's nothing else on here that even remotely looks like. All right, whatever. Anyway, hope everyone had a good weekend. You can support the channel. All the links are in the description. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't want to talk too much about this because I'd probably spoil some things, and wouldn't be a good idea. But I want to show you all the reasons why I believe this to be true, and I think it's pretty jaw-dropping evidence. And what the Atlanteans actually, what they look like, their skin color. What kind of titles would they have given themselves? In the Emerald Tablets, that was translated by a human, and the closest word that he can use for what Thoth called himself was a priest king. But I actually don't think that's correct. I think that was just a modern translation that's mistranslated because those are words we know and words we use. There wouldn't I don't think they would have called themselves priests. That ties in with secular kind of organized religion. Uh Buddhist monks don't call themselves priests. They call themselves like more or less disciples. They don't have those kinds of titles, but they're very spiritually evolved. In fact, one of the lessons in Buddhism is not to give yourself titles. It's called the idea of the empty mirror. That's a Buddhist lesson. When you can look into a mirror and not see your own reflection, that's how you know you're becoming enlightened. It has to do with narcissism. If you know anything about the story of Narcissus, and I can make that video. Narcissus was a person who became infatuated with their own complexion in I think it was a lake or a stream. It's where the idea of narcissism comes from. Because I don't know if it was a woman or a man in Greek mythology. It might have been a woman. Um, but Narcissus, yeah, stared at her own reflection, and that's all. They became infatuated with it. And that's where the idea of narcissism came from. being infatuated with oneself. Well, this is where the idea of the empty mirror comes in with Buddhism, and this is why high level Freemason have 20 fucking titles to their names, 20 pronouns. There you go. There's a good one for you. Master of Mysteries, Mighty Adeptus, Wizard, Lizard, whatever. They give them. It's like a fucking running joke with them. The higher they go up in the order, the more titles they get. it's it's a form of narcissism. I don't think highly evolved spiritual people. I think they're a little more humble than that. So yeah, we'll talk about that in the video. Yeah, that's kind of it. Any questions or comments, leave them below. You can support the channel. All the links are in the description. You want to help me get some Halloween candy this year? That's awesome. There's a dollar store down the street from me. I usually buy bags of like the little mini candy bars. So that way, whatever I don't give out, because I like candy bars. But I do have a black cat now. I'm gonna let Dougal sit outside and hand out Halloween candy with me. I like handing out Halloween candy for the moms. I don't, not the kids. Just saying. Yeah, it's always a good night to go MILF hunting. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Sorry. I'm not Hillary Clinton. I find your kids in public. I'm not trying to steal them. I'm going to ask them where your mom is. Hey, where's your mom? Yeah, we're more interested in mom, not you. Just saying. That's another reason why I'm just sick of all this shit going on in politics, because I know what this shit boils down to, and you know, God forbid anyone impedes on that little dirty little secret that a lot of these elites have. Yeah, cut off their children coming over the border. Just saying. Anyway, no weapons formed against me shall prosper. Don't worry. They can throw all the black magic, sheeny voodoo they want at me. I don't know if it's working or not, but anyway, trying to stay positive. So yeah, we'll see when I do this video. Hopefully, I'm able to do it tomorrow. We'll see. Any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.